I hear a lot of people say finding a healthy, loving, long-lasting relationship is like winning the lottery. But I'm here to say that that is not true. We have so many resources now, like research and therapy and books that help you create long-lasting and healthy relationships. You just need to be able to create that self-love and manifest that healthy relationship for yourself and know what you want. If you're looking for that, then don't worry, because your online bestie is here and I got you. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Charlize Chu, the host of the Online Bestie podcast, where I give you guys very honest advice on glowing up, self-care, and relationships. If you like this episode and want to hear more, then please rate and review on Spotify and like and subscribe on YouTube. Thank you. Okay, besties, we are back with part 2 of my Bestie to Bestie segment on the Online Bestie podcast, which is where I have you guys ask me very specific questions so I can answer in a full-on episode. And if you haven't seen part 1, then go watch part 1. I talk a lot about mentally and physically glowing up, and now here I am talking about all things relationships because you guys had so many questions about this that I had to make it into a whole video. I am someone who has struggled a lot with relationships. I went to therapy for relationships. I am currently going to coaching for healthy relationships. So I would like to say I am somewhat knowledgeable on it. Being in love should not be something that is so draining and drags you down. This should be something that betters your life and improves your life. It has you glowing and feeling like you can live your life and be healthy, because I read this quote somewhere that says, in order for you to be fully independent, you need to have dependence. It's nice to have that sort of dependence to go home to, which is that person. And that's what being in a relationship is just having that person to support you and be there for you and allow you to continue grow in your own way. So let's get into the first question. How can I find romantic love? I don't want to wait more, and dating apps scare me. Finding romantic love is honestly all about putting yourself out there. If you're constantly just in your room, isolated, not willing to meet any more people or connect, it is obviously going to be harder for you to find love. I think what's very important to remember is that you should never be outwardly trying to seek love and force it, because the more you want to force something, the harder it is for it to come to you. My best suggestion is to live your life to the fullest independently, and also go out there and connect with people. Join clubs like Run Club. Everybody says that that's the best way to meet people nowadays. Join a book club. Even at work, go hang out with your coworkers outside of work. Because I truly do believe that that is one of the greatest ways to form a genuine loving relationship, is becoming friends with them and getting to know them before you jump into it and say that you guys want to date each other. That's why I get it's understandable that people don't like using dating apps, because a lot of times like you're going to meet each other just to date, and there's less of like actually just trying to get to know someone. I do have a lot of friends who have found a lot of success on dating apps. A lot of my friends have met their partners through dating apps. I personally have used dating apps before. I didn't meet anybody through dating apps. I met my current boyfriend in a very genuine way. I mean, we were friends first for like over a year, and then we started dating. But that's also because I put myself out there. Don't be embarrassed to reach out to people that you know and say, let's hang out. You know, I mean, me and him, like we briefly knew each other, but then I reached out to him. I was like, oh yeah, let's get coffee. This was before like anything romantic, just as friends, like let's get coffee. And over time we both got more comfortable to just continue asking each other to hang out. Sorry if you hear that in the back, that's my dog barking. But you would be very surprised to know how many people are actually open to meeting new people and hanging out, or just having a conversation to a stranger. People are all just scared to do it, so don't be afraid to be the first one to make a move and say hi to someone. Okay, the next question. What do you think of a long distance relationship, and what are your thoughts and advice? I love this question because I am a professional at long distance relationship. Me and my current boyfriend are long distance. We are literally across the US from each other. What I think about long distance relationship is that they are hard, but there can be so much benefit to being long distance. And if you and your partner are willing to make a long distance relationship work, I think that also just proves further how much effort you both are willing to put into the relationship and how much love there is. I think you need to be very communicative in a long distance relationship. You don't have the physical presence of that person that you literally rely on everything else. That distance can create a lot more overthinking and anxiety. I am someone who's personally a very anxious person when it comes to relationship, that you're going to have to communicate how you feel so much more. You're not going to know what they're doing most of the time. But whenever you do feel lonely, you can't just go to them, and FaceTime, it's never the same, all right? Like, there might be times where you feel like you're not getting enough in the relationship, or you feel really lonely, and that's really valid. You just need to be able to communicate that to your partner and say, hey, like, I've been feeling a little bit like this or this because I just physically can't see you. And you guys can come up with a solution of what you guys can do to make you feel better. Me and my boyfriend, we will go on virtual dates, which I definitely recommend for any relationship that's long distance, is planning out your date night still as if you were together. So me and my boyfriend, we will order in food together. He will send me food through Uber Eats and we'll watch a movie. My boyfriend will also send me like cute care packages, like when I'm on my period. If I know my boyfriend's having a bad day, I'll send him something as well. And like I said, long distance can actually be very good for your relationship, okay? Because you have that space to really focus on yourself and be independent, where you might not have that when you guys are together. Because I do notice when couples are together, like, they are really together all the time. I mean, me and my boyfriend, when we're together, we are literally doing almost everything together. When we're away, like, I really try to focus on this time on just being me and doing what I usually do as if I were single. Well, not as if I was single, but just like taking myself out for coffee and buying things for myself, as I probably wouldn't normally do when I was with my boyfriend, and just really being more present with myself. Because when I'm with my partner, I'm present with us. But then when it's just me, it's like, okay, I get my alone time. So learn to appreciate the distance as well. Next question, how do you know if you're in a healthy or toxic relationship? So something I just recently learned is not looking at relationships as if it's toxic or not, but looking at relationships based on you and your partner's attachment styles. If you don't know, the attachment styles are secure, anxious, and avoidant. If you're anxious or avoidant, it's better for you to date someone secure. Like me, I'm an anxious person, but that doesn't mean I'm toxic. That doesn't mean I'm unhealthy. I can still be in a healthy relationship, but I just need to be with someone who's secure. Because if I am with an avoidant person, that's going to create even more anxiety in me, and I'm just going to be emotionally drained all the time. Because an anxious person is someone who craves the intimacy and is needing a lot of love and security, while an avoidant person is wanting their independence. And when they feel that there's too much love, they get away. But if you're an anxious person with a secure person, you're going to feel more security, because a secure person knows how to comfort you whenever you're feeling anxious. They know how to give you the love that you need. They know how to balance their independence, but also put in the love in the relationship. They know how to communicate and listen, and that will make you feel more relieved rather than anxiety, and that will lift you up rather than bring you down. So kind of look at it as if, is this relationship draining me and continuing to make me feel worried all the time or taking up too much of my energy, versus is this relationship healing me and making me feel better about myself? Once you're in a relationship, that creates three entities: you, your partner, and the relationship that you guys have created. So you guys are both like parents to this relationship, and this relationship is your child. All right? Think of it that way. You guys are both putting in the effort to continue to love and nurture this relationship and watch it grow. But if the relationship is not for you, then that means maybe one parent is not always there. One parent leaves and then comes back a month later. A similar question is, how can you spot the red flags? If things that they do make you feel super bad about yourself and they don't change the behavior, like if you go up to them and you tell them, hey, this made me feel bad, and they don't try to work on it and be better, then that's a red flag, okay? In general, if your partner cannot communicate and problem solve in a way that doesn't lead to them being defensive or just completely ignoring the problem, then that's a red flag. Like, you should be with someone who's able to problem solve with you and be compassionate and compromise. So for example, let's say you go up to your partner and tell them you wish that they would put in more energy into coming up with dates. And their immediate reaction is getting defensive and saying, no, I don't want to come up with more dates. You are taking up too much of my time. I want to spend time alone. Versus a green flag would be, I would love to plan out more dates, but I would also want to be more mindful of our alone time so we can continue making sure that we're our own individual people as well. So can we come up with a compromise for that? Sometimes red flags are not just like pinpoint right there, that's a red flag. You know, it is more about how it makes you feel, and you know yourself the best. So once you feel that something is off and is making you sad or upset, you need to communicate that and see the reaction of that. Next question is about getting over a relationship. How do I get over my ex-boyfriend? Give yourself the time and space to heal. A lot of people after relationships, especially in New York City, I see it a lot, that they just try to move on and suppress the problem by going out a lot, partying more, going on dates right away to just forget that feeling, forget the sadness, forget the person, or make the other person jealous. You are not weak for feeling bad about a breakup. No matter how poorly your ex might have treated you, it's okay to be sad about it, because that was someone you spent a lot of time on, and now it's over, and it's just such a big change in your life. Take the time to just sit at home, watch a movie and be sad and cry. It's better than to suppress your feelings, because if you suppress your feelings, in the long run, it's going to catch up to you. But also make sure you don't let that phase of you just like rotting in bed go on for so long, because it's going to become a habit. You got to start doing things for yourself, like going to the gym. Do things that will make yourself feel better. This is when you have like the most motivation to work and create a better you, because I feel like we're always so down and we're like, you know what, this is my comeback era, like I'm so sad now, but I'm going to be better. So use that passion and like put that into something that will benefit you. Just be single now and learn about you, because when you're in a relationship, you're spending a lot of time learning about this other person. Enjoy this time to truly be you. I also do really like to reflect on like what went wrong in the relationship, and you know, sometimes we like to blame the other person a lot, but it's also good to reflect on yourself. It's like, what did I do in this relationship that may have caused it to end? And what can I do moving forward in my next relationship to make sure that I have healed from that? And also, let's say maybe you're breaking up with someone who was bad for you. Okay, like, why did I go for someone who was so bad for me, and how can I avoid that in my next relationship? Look at it as a lesson and glow up, girl. Next question. How do I make it not obvious when I like a boy? And how can I tell if he's interested in me? Okay, this is a two-parter question. Okay, first of all, if you like someone, how do you not want to make it obvious? I think the plain and simple answer is just be yourself. I know we like to try to do things and say things to impress the person that we like. If you, let's say, like someone and you want to create a loving relationship with them, then just be yourself. Don't be someone else, because then you're not creating a relationship between you and this person. You are creating a relationship to this character you put on and this person. Don't put the people that you like on a pedestal, okay? I know you probably think they're amazing, they're this great person, but you're also an amazing, great person. Like, how could they not like you, right? And how can you tell if they're interested in you? I think everybody has their own ways of showing that they like someone, but I would say overall, if someone likes you, they're obviously going to want to do what they can to keep seeing you. They will reach out to you if they are interested. If you are truly questioning it, I like to just ask or tell them like, hey, I like you, because I feel like the period of having a crush on someone and then like, oh, do they like me or do they not, can be so like time consuming. Because like when I like someone, I know for a fact they're on my mind all the time. I would rather just get it over with and know if they like me or not than to constantly think about this. So I usually just say, hey, like, I like you, and then see what they say. And if they don't like me, okay, we move on. Now I don't have to think about it so much. And if they do like me, okay, let's keep doing this. Let's see how we flow. Let's see where it goes, you know? I posted a video on my YouTube where I basically just gave the full long story of how me and my boyfriend got together, where if you guys want to go watch that, you should check it out. It's pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. It's literally a Wattpad story, but it's also just a lot of me being like, I'm gonna grow a pair and tell him. And I did, and look where it got me. Honestly, best decision I made. And the final question in this episode is, how do you know when you're ready to date someone after a serious breakup? Okay, this is a great question because I know that I was like also like, am I ready or am I not? Is this too early? Is this not? But there's not a specific time, especially with relationship stuff, like even saying like, when's the best time to say I love you and all that stuff. There's never a good time. It's just like, how do you feel? I would say like, obviously right after the breakup, you're probably not ready because you probably need to reflect on that and heal on that. But you know, some people can reflect in 2 months, or some people it might take them a year. Don't hold yourself back. And sometimes we never know if we're ready until we get into that new relationship or once we start dating again. And maybe you decide to date and you realize you're not, then you can totally have the choice to say, hey, you know what? I'm not ready. I'm going to be single and like not go on dates anymore, and that's okay too. Being in a healthy and loving relationship is not this miracle thing that only lucky people get. Every relationship is very different and personal to each person because it's based on what they want and need and what they value. But the root of it is just understanding what you are looking for and also understanding yourself, knowing what love for yourself looks like so you can love others and receive love from others. I hope that this episode has helped you. And if you have gotten this far into the episode, then make sure to comment your personal glow up lessons or glow up stories that you have so I can share it for everybody in the next episode. And I just really believe that you guys are all going to win the lottery. If you are looking for it and manifesting it, you're going to get that healthy relationship because you deserve it, because you guys are all healthy and beautiful besties. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next Reset Sunday. Bye!